everyone, how you doing? Super fan here to my channel. You're very welcome. My name is Akwe and I'm really excited that you're here today. Have you been? There's always something here to bless you every Wednesday. And for every one of you that have been me on this journey, thank you so much. New subscribers, every one of you, thank you. I do not at all take you guys for granted. Thank you. You know that already. Thank you. Right, so last week I did the interview with Nicola, and I'm just going to share something how I got her to do the interview, and then something that also impacted me as well after I've done the interview. Just stay with me. I'm going somewhere with these stories, okay? Yeah. So Nicola has moved out of the city where I live, yeah, but she had come back that weekend because it was her PhD defense. And so it was on a Friday, and I'd congratulated her, sent her messages and things like that. Then I woke up Saturday morning and I was thinking, it just over my head. Ask Nicola to do an interview because she's conquered fears. I mean, we're talking about fear on your channel. Nicola would be a very great, like, her story impact people as well. Like, okay. So I called her. I'm like, hi, Nicola, would you be able to do this for me? Immediately, like, yes, I've got so many things to say about that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's very good. I was really excited. And I was like, that was on a Saturday. She's like, but I can't do it today, like, but tomorrow I'll be in church because I'm going to be going back after church. So we could do it after church before I leave. And like, oh, perfect, So I saw her on the Sunday. We planned to do it after the church service. The place I had in mind to do it, so they were using it for something else. I'm like, oh goodness, God, help me. And then Nicola showed me this other room. I'm like, oh, there's another room that, like, really, I never even knew about that room. And then we did the interview. The reason I really wanted her to do the interview was because, remember in the video before hers, I was talking about, like, please just doing things afraid, how I started YouTube videos and I'm still here. Don't let fear stop you. And I just thought, what, like, aside me, someone else that I know, because I like stories that you can see where someone is coming from and where they are now, and then you can relate with it and then apply it to your own life, and just like gives hope. If that person can do it, then I can do it as well, that kind of thing. So we did the interview. So I posted the video on a Wednesday, and then on Thursday I called her because I did a Facebook post as well to say, oh, go watch this video, tagged her. And so I felt like, oh, Nicola, you're so popular. I can see your friends sharing your stories and everything. And then we had a chat. So today's video is about really the chat that I and Nicola had that Thursday. And like I said, something that really impacted me, and I'm going to share. So I mean, she's giving me permission to share the story, so don't worry. So when I called her, she was talking about, oh, her friends are sharing the story and she's so happy. So she started talking about how doing this PhD, she wanted, like, she told God that this is your PhD and I'm going to testify, let everyone know of your goodness when I'm done with this PhD. But I'm just thinking, obviously, because she's going to testify probably in a local church or anywhere. She had done a post on Facebook as well, just saying, God, thank you. You saw me through this whole journey and this is yours, And I think for her, that was it. Like, she's testified that it was God that led her through. So when I told her that she could do this interview, she was so happy because she always wanted to share her testimony, but she never looks at it in this, like, on YouTube or sharing a story. But she also said she's had dreams where, like, people are sharing her story. So now, coming back to reality now, like, when I did that post on Facebook, her friends are sharing the story and she's got people messaging her and calling her, telling her that her stories inspired them, like, literally in tears, and like, oh, you've moved, yeah, I'm really inspired, I'm so proud of you, and things like that. And then she was sharing further, like, when she was a young girl, like, I think about the age of 6, she has prayed to God because, according to her, she said she grew up, like, the part of Guyana where she grew up was really, like, underdeveloped, like, poor. So she's like, I didn't grow up in many, but as a young girl at about the age of 6, I told God that, God, I want to have this degree, I want to be successful, I want to, like, just really praying, and God, help me, I want to do this. She had these great dreams. And then seeing that, all of that come to pass, and then being able to share that story. And as well, she was saying, probably, like, you will not understand, like, because for me, on this other end, I just wanted, like, a content that related to fear to bless my followers on YouTube, but I didn't think anything deep into it. Just someone who's conquered fear, come and share your story. But for her, it meant so much, and it just happened. It's not something I planned. I didn't even plan what to say in that interview. I just flowing along as she was saying, and we're just talking. And then she said something that, coming from that kind of really poor background and where she's come from, and then having to now let her story be able to inspire those young girls, and those young girls from her place can see that if she can do it, they too can do it. That it really means so much to her, and she's so excited. Her aunties calling her, they're proud of her. So many people contacting her, and she was like, in her own words, that 20 years, 30 years after now, that's going to be there, and people are going to keep watching it, they're going to keep blessing them. And she was really like just thankful that I gave her that opportunity. And I'm just thinking, I just did something that I just had a thought in my head. Oh God, let me speak to Nicola. She probably should be good for this story, because I mean, I knew she had some fears and now she's overcome them. But I never knew that that thing I was doing was going to be the answer to someone's prayer, something she's wished for years, something she's told God she wanted to do, something that is going to impact a lot of people. Because when I was like on the analytics of the video, I was saying to her, like, everyone, there's people that watch like external sides of YouTube, that where they got the video from was Facebook. Like, those are your people, Nicola, all the way from Facebook, you know. And I'm looking at the country, percentage of people watching from Guyana, people watching from Russia. I'm like, well, America. I just thought I was just doing like a regular interview, but I didn't know that God had other plan. And then once I finished that call, she was really good. She's so thankful, like she's people calling her, she's really inspiring people with that story. I'm like, thank you for letting me be the medium to share that. And so it really got me thinking, like, wow, in all of our stories, God is in it. Now, sometimes it might look like he's very silent. It might look like he's not doing anything. Maybe the background is working behind the scenes, doing so many things. It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. It doesn't matter what challenges. It doesn't matter what prayers you've made and you're waiting for answers. You're looking for direction. And just look like sometimes God is silent or is doing nothing. Trust me, he is in that story. He's doing something behind the scene. Because to think that this is something that Nicola really inspired, like always from a very little girl, that her story will inspire other people, that she wish people that she even dreamt about people going to be sharing her story. She never told me all of this. I didn't know any of this until I made a call to her on Thursday after I posted the video on Wednesday, and then she was sharing all this, how she grew up and things, and what this PhD really meant. And she has 2 master's degree, but she like, this PhD was just like, it was everything, like, and she gave it to God, you know. To think that I was just here, not even knowing all of that, but God was using me to bring all of that to pass. It really, really taught me that God is in all of our stories. So don't worry if you look like God is silent. Trust me, he's doing something behind the scene. That call, there's some things I learned from that call. The first one was, like I've said before, no putting God in the box. She made the prayer, I'm going to testify when I finish this PhD. And in her head, which is probably that Facebook post on her local church, but God had a bigger platform for her to testify that she had no idea about. She didn't. But he provided that platform. So when we make our prayers to God, just let God be God. And I just said, oh, afterwards, like, God is hammering this thing, because sometimes, like, I'm trying to think of how he's going to answer the prayers for me. It's like, that's not your business. Just let me know your heart. Like, just give it to me. That's my job, you know. And then, like I said, the other thing was really like, God is in all of our stories. And then if I come back to me, so that's Nicola's story and how everything played out and how this video came about and it's blessed people. Personally, like, I was doing this whole thing about fear and conquering fear, because on 26th of March, it's going to be 2 years I've been doing videos on YouTube. And I was, so like I said, I started afraid. I still have some fears at times. But honestly, there's been some points where I've been like, God, do you still want me to do this? Do you still want me to do this? You led me to do this. But sometimes I feel like, have I outlived my purpose here? Because sometimes I make videos and the views are really like, they're just dropping per videos. I'm like, God, like, just tell me what to do, you know. Do you want me to be here? I mean, you know, and I cannot, like, well, I said, yeah, I cannot celebrate my 2 years on YouTube without actually giving mention to Busola. Because aside her being like my auntie, my friend, she also has a YouTube channel. So some things that I struggle with, if I have any fears or any concerns, if I run it by her, she's always like a very good, like, a good compass. She just kind of way, she gives me like that auntie advice, friendly advice, but she always matches it with the Bible, and then just really puts me in the right perspective, you know. So I can remember saying to her like, and the person, I don't really think I don't know. I've told God if you still want me to do this, but I've not heard anything. And I can remember something she said to me. She's like, then obey the last command. Like, oh, I've never heard it that way. When I made this call to Nicola on Thursday, I've never been so sure of anything that I know that God still wants me to do this. Because how? Me just in my bedroom making a call to Nicola, can you do this interview for me, please? I just want to share your story. Not knowing that was actually an answer to something she's always wanted, right from a very little girl, you see. So I'm like, yes, I know God still has a purpose for me to be here, and I'm still here. So just confirm that God is in my story. God is in this YouTube story. God is in all of our stories. God is in your story. Like I said, it might look like he's quiet. It might look like he's not doing anything. Trust me, he's in your story. And so I just told Nicola, like, I'm going to use this story, like, if you don't mind. She's like, oh, no, fine. And in all of this, there's a song that comes to my head. I mean, I would have loved to play this song, but I'm not sure I can play because of copyright and all that. I'm gonna attempt to sing the chorus. She's called, oh God, I think it's Katie Nicole, not Nicole, Katie. Oh, Katie Nicole. Oh, I'm gonna confirm if it's Katie Nicole or Nicole Katie. I'm gonna put the right name here. So the song says God is in the story. God is in this story. So just ignore the quality of my singing. Just listen to this the message in the song, because I just the chorus I'm gonna sing. So, and when I was thinking of making this video and all of this, my story, your story, our story, that's the song that just really came to my mind. So like I said, I'm going to attempt to sing it. Don't laugh, I'm watching you. Right, so it goes like this. Just the chorus. So it says, God is in this story. God is in the details. Even in the broken part, he holds my heart. He never fails. When I'm at my weakest, I will trust in Jesus. Always in the highs and lows, the one who goes before me. God is in this story. Yeah, I got it. Did you say it? It said God is in the story. God is in the details. Like I said, it might look silent, but he's in the story. He's in my story, he's in your story, he's in Nicola's story, he's in all of our stories. Just trust him. The Bible says that all things work together for good. Right, so that's it. If this video has blessed you, just check someone that I think is going to bless as well. And if you haven't subscribed, if you think something you like what's happening here, just click on the subscribe button. Don't waste time. And on 26th of March, this Sunday, is going to be 2 years, and more than ever before, I know that God is in my story. So I'm going to end by singing this song again. I like it because I'm going to confirm the name is Katie Nicole Katie. I don't know, I'm going to confirm for you. So bye everyone, and enjoy the rest of your week. God is in this story. God is in the details. Even in the broken parts, he holds my heart. He never fails. When I'm at my weakest, I will trust in Jesus. Always in the highs and lows, the one who goes before me. God is in this story. God is in my story, and he's in your story. Bye, and I'll see you next week. Bye.